All right, it is 5:39. Let's go ahead and get the meeting started. If you guys could turn on cameras and stuff, that would be great. Let's run through the roll call right quick. 1 second. I need to pull up all the stuff for that. All right, I'm starting the roll call. Simran Vadgama from Atkins High.
Here.
Michael Gallagher from Atkins.
Here.
Jacob Taylor from Early College. Sarah May from East Forsyth. Kabari Walker from East Forsyth. Caleb Houston from North Forsyth. All right, Dayanara Loaiza Lopez from North Forsyth. Cameron Allen is not here today. Is that an excused absence, Miss Jamie?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Michaela Beard from Mount Tabor is also not going to be able to join us today. I emailed her saying that she's welcome to join camera off, mic off, but I'm going to let her make that call. I'm not going to. So she hasn't joined us yet, but maybe she'll be a few minutes late. So I'll put her down as an excused absence. All right. Natapat Rungrat from Mount Tabor. Daniel Ochoa from Parkland. Lutzi Castillo Oliveira from Parkland. Daniel Reyes has an excused absence today. Nasi Bangwani from Reagan.
Here.
Addison Truzzi is going to be a little late, so I'll just put her down as that. All right, Cade Brady from West Forsyth. Kamlin Thon from Walkertown. Alyssa McClinic from Walkertown. Almarie Williams from Winston-Salem Prep. Giselle Guerrero from Kennedy. And Ava Berner from Reagan.
Here.
All right, that concludes the roll call today. Let's go ahead and move on to the minutes. Does everybody have them? Miss Jamie just sent them out in the email. Okay, let's go look at that. Simran, do you have those?
No, could someone please send a link to that in chat? I'm still not getting all the emails for some reason. I'm not really sure, but I can send out another email about that later.
Yeah, let me see if I can send the link, or I can just share my screen. Either one works.
Simran, I'm not sure either. I have, when I get an email from you, it's the same email address that I'm sending it to. But when I send the email, it gets returned. So I'm not sure what's going on.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the problem with that is, but I will send you an email later with a different email that you could use, if that would be possible.
That would be great. Thank you.
Simran, Nasi just sent the minutes to the Snapchat group chat, which is actually so much easier than what I just tried to do. So I would just go look at them there. Also, hey, Litzy, thanks for joining. We're looking at the minutes, so you should have that in your email. I like downloaded the minutes and like expected them to send, but it definitely didn't work. So yeah, just go look at them in the group chat.
You can send documents on Snapchat.
If you have the link to them, yeah, you can send them.
Oh,
Mhm.
I know very little about Snapchat.
I've been using it for the longest time and I still don't know a lot about it, so I haven't bothered to explore.
So you actually won't be able to vote on the minutes. So if you want to just have if there's any updates, we can make those changes, but you'll have to vote. Hopefully the next meeting you'll have a quorum and you'll vote for both meeting months.
Yeah, do you guys see anything that looks incorrect or anything that needs to be changed, whether it's like names spelled incorrectly or a date's wrong?
To me, the meetings look good, or the minutes look good.
I
Cool, thank you.
agree. I don't see anything wrong either.
Cool. I think the minutes are all good then. Also, Jacob just texted me and he said that he's going to be running late as well. So, okay, cool. Since we don't have to approve the minutes, we'll worry about that next meeting. We can go ahead and move on from those. I'm going to make some roll call notes. Give me just a second. All right, sounds good. Let's go ahead and move on to the next item on the agenda, which is like committee updates. So does anybody want to start from the Public Relations Committee or the Community Relations Committee or the Government Relations?
I think that for government relations, there's not entirely anything to update on since we haven't had the meeting yet, but so far the meeting is still on the go and all of us are set to attend.
Cool, thank you, Ava. Yeah, I think we're all good there because we set the city council date in our last meeting, which was that was a good choice. So it's still on March 28th at 7, which is a Tuesday?
Next Monday.
Next Monday. Cool. So definitely attend that if you can. Those are usually pretty interesting. Like it's a city council meeting. You get to see how it runs and how it's parallel to how Youth Advisory Council runs as well. Like when we vote to approve the minutes and when we make motions, all that kind of stuff. City council also uses that format. So the first time that I went to a city council meeting, I thought that was cool. I was like, oh, this is a generally used format. So definitely plan on attending that if you can. We're required to go to one every year. So definitely make it a priority.
And they are still airing those live. They're meeting in person now, but I'm not sure if they are expecting like audiences. So that is something we can look up, but I will send a reminder out. You can find it on the city's YouTube channel starting at 7:00. So you won't actually be live with the city council meeting, but we just ask that you all let us know if you were able to watch it.
Thank you, Miss Jamie. Is there anybody from public relations that wants to give an update on like the newsletter, what you guys need for the newsletter, what you're expecting from the council? I think Cameron's our main person for that. And I think like next meeting, he'll definitely have some stuff to say, but I can speak for him a little bit about it. We'll definitely need an article about the city council meeting. We discussed ideas for articles in our last meeting. I think like YGA interviews or like the YGA grant application was another thing that we wanted to write an article about. So yes, we can definitely like connect over email about like what articles need to get done and when they need to be done by. I would say let's set a date, but we can't vote on it. So I think it's okay if we leave it up in the air for now. But we do need to get working on those articles because when did we set the date for the newsletter to be done?
So I can tell you all now that it needs to be done by April, the last day of April, because we will need that to go to council. And that's going to be something that we're going to talk about at the end. But you all will report to council May 10th. So we'll need to have it complete by then.
Question. Do you think the SYC spring conference is on April 23rd, but the newsletter is due the last day? Do you think that would be too late to write an article and then put that into the newsletter
No,
for the spring conference?
I don't think so.
Okay, because I think that would be a really interesting article because that's an in-person event. Everybody will be like interactive. I think that'd be a fun article to write. So cool, sounds good.
And Brooke, can you remind me or Jamie if anyone wrote about the state grant that YAC received already?
From the mini grant?
Yeah, the mini grant.
I'm not sure if anybody wrote an article. And if we did, I feel
know,
like it was all newsletter, right?
I don't
can't
believe
remember.
there was. I don't believe there was. If there was, Brooke, you would have probably wrote it because you were the only one that did the mini grant conference.
Yes, I did write. For the conference I did, not for the application. But yeah, I wrote one about the mini grant conference. Yes.
About the conference, but nothing about the fact that you all received one of the mini grants.
No. In my letter as chair, I touched on the fact that we submitted an application and that we were waiting to hear back, but never like an update on that. So that's something we could definitely include too.
Yes, I agree.
Cool. Also, hey, Addison, you just joined. We're doing like committee updates, like from community relations, public relations, government relations. Hey girl, thanks for joining us.
Sounds great.
Well, thank you. Okay, so no, we didn't give an update, but that would be a great idea to include. I think we could just write about the annual project and include that we got some funding there. Speaking
I think
of,
that sounds good.
okay, sounds good. Cool beans. Speaking of grants and grant funding, Ava and I were the two representatives who did the YGA interviews in February. The interviews went great. I feel like Ava and I did a really good job, but unfortunately we didn't get funded. So Ava, I'm not sure if you heard about that, but we did not receive any funding, but that's okay because that doesn't mean we can't do our project or anything. We just got to keep on keeping on. No worries. I think it was a very competitive grant this year. That's how they like made it out to be. So, but that's okay because we still have the $500 from the mini grant. And also, Miss Jamie, correct me if I'm wrong, but and Miss Wanda too. We have like a small budget or small amount of money that we can also use for like projects and stuff.
Yes, Brooke, that's absolutely correct. You do.
Okay. We got options and we got this donation drive going on too. So I think we'll be all right there. Ooh, did she just leave? I think she did. Okay, moving on. Does anybody from the community relations committee have any updates they want to put out there?
I would say continue focusing on the annual project now.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. All right. So next part, annual project discussion. The first thing is annual project updates, which right now is mainly our donation drive. And also under the agenda, we also have bag design and items to order. Miss Jamie, do you want to touch on that? Because I was talking with you about that earlier this month.
Yeah, so I need to order the bags. I think we had talked about just like the drawstring backpack bags. Do you want them to just have a generic like youth council logo, which would be something that if you don't use them all, then you would be able to have for other projects? Or are you wanting something that's specific, like a specific design for this project?
I'm fine with just our usual YAC logo. I think that's okay. Unless somebody really wants to take charge on designing a logo, then I think just the Youth Advisory Council little logo is fine.
And do you have, oh, go ahead, let's see.
Sorry, I agree with the youth logo, but probably just adding like a small quote, something that we all agree on, like underneath the youth logo might work.
What kind of, should it be pertaining to mental health or should it be, that's
Like
a good
something
idea.
motivational?
I was leaning more towards a motivational quote.
Maybe just as simple like you got this. I don't know. We can brainstorm that for sure. What do you guys think about having a quote? Do you think that's too much? Do you think that's fine on a bag? Should we just have the logo?
I think that it's actually a really good idea. I definitely think that we should make it concise so it's like we can like the bag can be used no matter the situation. Definitely something like even like just the words "you matter" at the bottom, like below the logo, I think works really well. But yeah.
Yeah, I really like that idea.
Yeah, me too.
I was also thinking like if we didn't want to go the motivational quote route, we could also do like a little slogan for YAC with it, like YAC's got your back or something like that, like to show support as well, so they can remember like who they got the bags from. If we want to do something like that.
That's cute. I would say let's run with that, but since our logo's already on there, I think people will remember where they got the bags from. So, but that's okay.
Yeah.
Yak's got your back. That's cute. We got to use that at some point.
But what if you did put under a yak and then put "we got your back"?
Yeah.
I would love that. Just something cute to show like that we're also in support, and then we can also have a motivational quote if we still want to, or however we want to do that.
I bet we could put on the like resource packets that we're gonna make. Oh, I wanted to touch base with you guys about that. Because one of the items that we wanted to include in the bags was like just resources, like probably like a packet of like just some like websites, stuff like that. We could even put like "you matter" on that. So I think the "Yak's got your back" is a really good idea. Like "we got your back" logo, "we got your back" exclamation point, and then on the inside we can definitely include.
Oh wait, yeah. So within the care packages, within the packages, are we gonna have like little notes with the information on who to go to and things like that? Because if we have that, then we can put the slogan on that.
Put the slogan on the pieces of paper or on the drawstring?
Like the pieces of paper where we have the information, like the numbers to call and things of that sort, if we wanted to.
Yeah.
Instead of having it on like the bag.
I like having, I kind of like having it on the bag. What do you guys think? Nasi looks skeptical. She's like, "No, girl."
I think that it's well, for me, I think having it on the bag would be really cute. Like, I think that it makes it more cheerful. That's the word I was looking for. It makes it very cheerful, and it makes it like a very lighthearted project, but it also symbolizes that like we really do care. But also I think that maybe putting it on the pamphlet that's going to be in the bag would also work. So I think both ideas are really good.
Okay, so here, I'm gonna very badly sketch. I'm so tempted to be like, "Now guys, I'm not an artist," but here we go. So logo. We've got our little logo, right? And then underneath that, I'm sorry, I guess I'm a bit confused. Nasi, were you saying like nothing under the logo at all? Or should we, or what do you think? What are your thoughts?
I'm so sorry. Do you mind clarifying what you're asking? I'm a little bit confused.
Oh, I was just saying when you were like, no, like about, I thought you were saying like don't put like a quote on the bag.
Oh, no. I thought you were talking about like the phone numbers on the bag. I was like, wait a minute.
Oh, okay, yeah, no, we're not gonna do that.
Oh,
Okay. Got you. So logo, we got your, wow, this looks so bad. It's okay. Okay, so like we've got our logo.
Madison, it'll be a drawstring bag.
Right, so like logo here, and then we've got your back. And it's like cute because it's like a backpack, I think.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be cute. Cause yeah, with drawstring bags, they can tend to look a little bit bland. So I think we could add a little pop with it, with the logo and then the quote or slogan.
Okay.
And then we can just flip the ideas, and we can just have the YAC's got your back on the actual bag, and then you matter on the note card that we use to have the information and resources.
Awesome. I think that's great. Okay,
I was
cool.
also thinking like for the quote, it can be something simple as this. I don't know. Wait. Something like keep your head up and keep your heart strong. Something like that.
Yeah, I think that's a good quote to keep to like put in the pamphlet or something like that. Like we could even just have like, for a little bit I was like, it would be cute if we had like, you know, like the little pieces that you get in fortune cookies. I think it would be cute to like include that in our mental health care packages. So we can even do like just little stuff like that. Back when we hosted the state youth conference in this was in like early 2020. Youth Advisory Council was doing something similar. We weren't assembling mental health care packages, but we were assembling drawstrings for all of the people that came to the conference. And one of the things that we did was grab like random postcards, like they were like WSSU postcards, and we wrote like cute notes on the back for every single one. Like we can do something like that. I think something little like that could also go into something like this. So we can include quotes like what Litzy just said, or like what Ava said earlier, like the just simple "you matter." So
we still have lots of those WSSU postcards.
So we could throw some of those in there. Yeah, sounds good. Okay, Miss Jamie, do you need anybody? Do you need what do you need from Youth Advisory Council in order to order the drawstrings and all that stuff?
We were, I think is it 300?
That was the goal. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm ordering the bags, and we talked about ordering lip balm or chapstick, whatever you call it. And then we talked about maybe stress balls. Is that correct? Or do we want to do that since you have the donation from McDonald's?
I think it would still be, I was talking to Brendan about this a little while ago. I think it would still be nice to have like a stress relieving object too. I feel like
what is the I'll wait.
You can go ahead, Addison.
What is the from McDonald's, what are they, are they just donating money towards us getting the resources, or are they like donating like products?
So leftover Happy Meal toys, that's what we're getting. We're like getting some of those to put in our mental health care packages.
Okay, and that's okay.
Cool. I feel like there was something else.
Was the lip balm, was that for, so within the care packages, are we packing more like self-care things as well to go with the lip balm, or would it just be kind of like lip balm and then the stress ball, the resource pamphlet, that type of thing?
The hope was also get like socks and stuff like that from the donation drive. So here, one second.
We also said something about little journals.
Yes, that too. Okay, Miss Jamie, in the mini grant application budget, it was the drawstring bags, the mini hand sanitizers, and the lip balm.
Okay. So
Do you guys think the lip balm is necessary with the, or goes with the, because I'm in my head, I'm thinking like, I think the lip balm goes with self-care. Do we have like self-care items that we're going to be packing within the bags as well before we start ordering them?
Wait, sorry, could you repeat what you said?
Addison, can you repeat yourself? You're on mute if you think you're talking. Okay. I think she's saying, I think what I heard her say was, are you sure that chapstick is something that you want, that we want to purchase? Or is that more self-care and that's not what we are purchasing?
Oh, okay. I felt like it was fine in a mental health care package because I feel like self-care and mental health care kind of go hand in hand. You need to take care of like I don't know, I like chapstick, so maybe that's just a me thing. I really like chapstick. I always have to have chapstick on me, otherwise I like, yeah, I don't know. But I always felt like it was.
Is it a stress reliever, Brooke? Is getting your lipstick out and putting it on your mouth, is that a stress reliever? Because that's what we.
No, it's not. But it's just nice to have.
But it could be. I mean, I'm saying it could be like that. Could be something that, you know, I
feel like.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Now we can. Yes.
Okay, good. I was just saying, like, are we going to pack other like self-care items in there? Because from my perspective, I don't know if the chapstick goes with the idea, but it could be. I just don't. I don't know if it goes.
I think that if we were going to pack anything else, it would probably have to be something small and like easily transportable, because like I know that like we kind of have to like stick to this sort of the list, but I think that it'd also be really nice to attempt to incorporate like hand cream or like
maybe like hand sanitizer.
Yeah,
I feel like hand sanitizer could be good. It kind of goes with lip balm. Also, it's great for like, you know, pandemic. It's just like something good to add, I'm thinking.
So we already have on the state grant, that's what Brooke's talking about, for the bags, chapstick, and hand sanitizer. So anything else that we purchase, and actually those three things will go over the $500. I can guarantee that. So anything else we purchase comes out of your YAC funds. So I think we really need to focus on one item, and that would really be effective to what you're trying to give with the resource thing. So is that a journal, and we already have pens that could go with it, or is that a stress ball?
Personally, I feel like a stress ball, it's more reliable because not everyone writes. So I feel like a journal is a good idea, but at the same time, not everyone likes to write or read. And while a stress ball, it's more like you carry it on your hands.
But then again, I feel like stress balls are just like really common, and a lot of other like companies, they tend to give those out for free. And a journal might just be like something different.
I was gonna say, I was at this journal that I was writing in earlier. I got this today from like for Psych Tech. So I was gonna say, like, I feel like journals and pens aren't that hard to come across either. Like, I feel like you just gotta ask the right people if they've got any like left over. So I feel like something that we should definitely order is the hand sanitizers. The lip balms, I can see us getting mainly through the donation drive, like the donation drive at the early college and middle college. I know a bunch of people that donated like lip balm because there was one of the like items on the poster, and I don't think hand sanitizer was like one of those things. So I think if we're going to get the drawstring bags and any one item, that it should be the hand sanitizer. And then if we just like ask the right people, we can probably get like the journals, and then like through the donation drive, we'll still get random bits and pieces of stuff that can be put into these bags. What are y'all's thoughts on that?
I totally agree, actually. The one thing that I think may be a bit difficult is that, like, I know that pens are everywhere. Like, I'm sure that everybody can find like a couple hundred pens laying around. The journals, I think it just depends on the school, because I know like some schools probably have more so like a use for these extra journals. Some schools may not. So I think it really just depends on like the school.
So are any of you all willing to reach out to some of the some companies? I mean, like even Novant. I know Novant has stress balls, or different organizations that you think might have giveaways, promotional items. We have some stress balls, but I think we only have like 20 to 30. But that's with our old logo. We have a new logo now that we are ordering new stuff. I mean, I think the stress ball is something good to have in each bag. And if people aren't donating it, I do agree that that's something that companies do have as promotional items, but it's going to be you all having to ask them to give them, and to get 300 from a company is not going to happen. Like, but a company might give, 50 or even 100, and then go get another 50 to 100 from another company. So if you think that's something you all could do and you want to volunteer to do that, then we don't need to look at ordering that. But otherwise, I think stress balls make sense for the packet of what you're doing. But that's my personal view.
I actually totally agree. And I would be more than happy to reach out to like Novant. I just need to know how. Would I just shoot them like an email, or would I call them, or what would work?
Ava, I would be happy to forward you a couple of email addresses of people who might be able to donate.
Okay.
And then if there's other people you think beyond that, that would be great too. So.
All right. Yes. Thank you.
Uh-huh.
Send those my way too, please, because I would also be happy to reach out.
Is it possible for us as YAC members to donate stuff? I mean, I know I can donate journals.
Let's see. I would think so. I would think that would be like you donating in your box from your school or wherever. So,
So if I do that, I do have one question, because my godmother, she kind of listened in on the last meeting we were having, and she was interested in donating like journals or something else like that. So I was wondering if I could get like 2 things that we're still needing to buy.
That would be awesome. I think definitely journals might be hard to come across. I think I'm going to hit up Forsyth Tech and be like, hey, do you guys have any promotional items that could fit in a mental health care package? So I feel like journals would be a great, if your godmother is still willing to donate, that would be awesome. I think definitely some journals and pens. Maybe not even pens. I feel like pens, like Ava said, are pretty easy to come across, but just journals I think would be great. I at first was like, in my head, ideally all of them were going to match in all the packages, which honestly they don't have to. It doesn't matter, just as long as it like serves the basic purpose of like, okay, I have a journal to write in, or okay, I have this like stress ball. It doesn't have to be perfect. So if we get like 50 journals from Forsyth Tech, and then some from your godmother and some from another place, I think that's totally fine. So yeah, journals, you said 2 items. Does anybody else have any other suggestions of items that could be donated?
maybe chapstick. If we want to focus on ordering the bags and hand sanitizer, and you said you already know that you have some chapstick donated, we might need more chapstick donated.
Yeah,
Um,
that's what I was about to say as well.
Doesn't matter like what brand of chopsticks because there's a lot.
Just as long as it serves the purpose of being chapstick. So
All
like,
right.
I was planning on donating some chapstick, and also I saw these cards a little while ago that had quotes on it or like a breathing exercise on it, and I was gonna pick up some of those for our donation drive.
Okay.
Cool, that would be great. I feel like, I don't know about you guys, but I feel like socks, I haven't seen that many, if any, be donated at like middle college and early college. Do we feel like that's like a necessary item anymore? At first it was like, oh, like socks, like just like as a self-care item, but I don't think it's like we don't need to do it.
No, I
Oh, okay.
sorry. No, from what I've seen at Parkland, it hasn't really been socks. So I think we could change it to hand sanitizer or hand cream.
Yeah, the hand cream was a great idea, Ava. I think that's a good idea. I just don't know how realistic it is to get one for each one. Like, I think hand sanitizer is a little bit more plausible, but the hand cream is still a good idea. So
I think it's definitely something that can also be like interchangeable. Like maybe you can have one bag that has like hand sanitizer and then one has hand cream. Like so, just
yeah, okay, that makes sense. Wait, should we do it that? Were you saying like maybe half of them have hand sanitizer and half of them have hand cream? Is that what you were saying, or?
yeah, that's what I was saying. And then I mean, it also depends on how much hand cream we collect, how much hand sanitizer we collect. So
I'm going to tell you all right now, I'm planning on buying hand sanitizer.
yeah,
So each bag will have hand sanitizer, and each bag will have a bag.
Yeah, need a bag.
And each bag will have a resources packet, whoever is going to put that together. So those are the three, I mean, those are the two things. So, yeah.
I actually had a question on putting together the resource packet. How should we approach that? Should we like what exactly is going to be in the resource packet?
So I wanted to touch base with you guys on that. I'm part of this youth group. It's under this organization called Triad Restorative Justice, and they do plenty of stuff related to like mental health and youth empowerment. And I feel like the work that they do could really go hand in hand with creating these resource packets. I reached out to my main contact there a while ago, and I meant to like give her a phone call and talk about potentially our like the youth group. It's called Peace Builders and Justice, or like PB&J for short, like the sandwich. I was thinking maybe PB&J could put together the resource packet so that like we don't have to worry about it necessarily. But obviously if you're like interested in working on the resource packet and like putting together some stuff, like I'll write you down and I'll include you like in the group chat or the email thread or whatever happens with that. But I was thinking I think they would be really happy to jump on this and to like put together resources. And I know they would do a really good job too. Like we're always really thorough about that kind of stuff. So yeah, I was gonna hit up Triad Restorative Justice and see what could happen with that.
So Brooke, can I, unless there's somebody else that wants to volunteer, can I leave that to you and Ava? And at our next meeting, maybe even prior to the next meeting, you all could send out a draft or what you think it's going to look like, because we're going to, after the next meeting, all this stuff's going to happen really fast, or else school's going to be over.
Yeah.
So I mean, we don't have time to keep prolonging things at this point. We have to make some decisions on who's going to get started on it. So if you want to go ahead and make sure you have everybody who's interested in working with you on it, and go ahead and start working on some type of draft before the next April meeting, that would be great.
Cool. Ava will be in touch about that. And I can send out an email too saying, respond to this email if you're interested in working on the resource packet with us. And then I'll reach out to Triad Restorative Justice and get that really moving. So before our next meeting, that's doable. Okay. I wanted to go back to what Ava was saying about like maybe half of the bags have hand cream and half of them have hand sanitizer. Part of me wants to go that route because then you would be able to order less hand sanitizer, but we also don't know how much hand cream we're getting. So I think it's just a safe bet to go ahead and order all of the hand sanitizer that we'll need. And then like, I don't know. I don't want to be like, oh, some of the bags can have hand cream because that just doesn't feel right. Like I feel like if one of them is going to have the hand cream, all of them should.
So Brooke, I'm going to tell you right now, you all are doing this based on donations. I can promise you're not going to have 300 of everything that's donated. The only thing you're going to have 300 of, that's a big number. 300 is a large number. So the only thing you're going to have 300 of is things that you're purchasing or being very diligent about making sure you have donated. So like even the McDonald's thing, do we have 300 of those?
We have more than 300 of those. Like Brendan has so many.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And the same thing, like if you ask other organizations to donate things, they may not donate 300. They might only be able to donate 100 or 50. So I think each bag is going to be different. And the bottom line is, what do you want the core items be?
All right. Sounds good. Thank you for bringing us back down to earth with that.
I'm sorry. Sometimes I guess that's my job. I love your all's pie in the sky.
No, I'm genuinely like, thank you for doing that. Because sometimes we need to refocus on like, yes, what are those core items going to be? It's okay if they don't all look the same because you're right. Like we're not going to get 300 of everything, but I think that's okay. And that's expected. All right, cool. I think we can go ahead and move on to a bit of discussion about the donation drives. How are things going with donation drives at different schools? I know, Michael, you sent a picture a little while ago of what the collection box looks at what it looks like at Atkins, which is awesome. Ava, Nasi, we can follow up with Mr. Royal about doing a short donation drive there. The one at Middle College is good. I feel like I could still do some more promotional stuff about that. And like I said, I'm also going to post on social media too. And please feel free to join me there because I'll like send out what the like generic poster should look like. So if you want to post it on your social media, that's fine too. I'm sorry, Litzy, you said at Parkland that you guys were getting some items donated. What's the donation drive looking at your school?
To be honest, it's a bit iffy, not much. I feel like at Parkland there's not really much attention to announcements. Unless if it's like prom or something about I think we're doing like a swim drive. I'm not so sure, but it's not really going as I hoped.
That's okay. I think I also, considering how long the middle college and early college one has been going on, I thought maybe we'd have more donations by now too. But no worries. I think that you can't always expect it to go to plan. And that's just the reason why we have this backup plan of hitting up organizations and seeing what they can donate as well. So that's okay. Like we said, hard deadline, April 8th. Miss Wanda, were you going to say something?
Yes, I was just going to say, don't forget, you all do have, as you've already mentioned, Brooke, a budget through the city with the youth council, and you do, of course, have your mini grant. And so I don't want you all to be dissuaded or down in any way at all if you are not receiving those donations that you were hoping to receive. The good thing is you are not dependent on those.
Snaps to that, because a while ago I was like, dang it, like we need more donations. But no, definitely. They help, but we can't be totally reliant on a donation drive. So you're right. We do have other ways of getting these to still happen. We are still going to meet this goal. So thank you. All right. Again, that deadline for the drives everywhere is April 8th. So even if you just post on social media and somebody hits you up and is like, hey, I have this stuff, I want to donate it, that would be great. If anybody, I was just thinking, like if I'm going to post on social media and somebody hits me up and says, I want to donate this stuff, chances are I'll probably go drive and get it. So if anybody is unable, like for transportation purposes, or like gas prices are really high right now. So if anybody is like unable to get to donations or something, just shoot us an email. Like we'll make it work so that we can get any extra donations. I think that would be great. So like I said, I'm going to send out a couple emails about like who wants to participate in putting together the resource packet, and also who like just a generic flyer that's already been made, like Cameron made this flyer, to put out on social media too, so that we can get some following that way. Before we move on, Michael, can I ask how the donation drive is going at Atkins?
Yeah, we got a few things in there. I haven't checked in a couple days, so I'm not entirely sure. But a couple days after we started, we had a few things in there.
Good. Okay, sweet. Okay, sounds good, guys. All right. Moving on to the bag assembly. I'm assuming now is a good time to set a date for when we should get together to put together a bag. Miss Jamie and Miss Wanda, is the plan still to bring all of the donations to City Council and to assemble the bags there? Is that possible with like COVID restrictions?
So I want to defer to Wanda with that. I know that, like I said, I know that City Council is meeting in person right now, but I know that the rest of the boards and commissions are still meeting virtually. A lot of them are meeting virtually. I see Wanda took her off mute, so I'm going to defer to her.
Yeah, I would just say that we may have to get creative with bringing you all together. It may be that you may have to do it outside or at a park or something like that. We may just have to get creative, because we do want to be mindful of the fact that we are still in a pandemic. Yes, the numbers are going down, but we do still want to be mindful of keeping everyone safe and making sure that, you know, we don't have any risks or anything involved unnecessarily. And so depending on the guidance and direction that we get here internally, it will dictate what we do. But I would say let's remain open-minded and understand that we may have to get creative and do something outdoors. It might not be a bad idea anyway.
Muddy Creek, like near Meadowlark, has like this big area now, which has like a whole bunch of picnic tables under an awning, which would be like a great place for us to do this, actually.
That's a really good idea. I was gonna say, what makes most sense to me is to set a park, set a time, and set a rain date in case it is like rainy and gross, because we don't want to put these together in the rain. Like that's a really bad idea. So Muddy Creek sounds great. In my head, I was thinking Miller Park, somewhere where we maybe wouldn't have to reserve. Do you guys think we would have to reserve a spot or anything?
So Simran, I'm not sure where Muddy Creek is. I'm afraid I think Miller Park is probably more central. But I could be wrong about that. I can't picture where that is, because I know Meadowlark is very far west Winston.
Yeah, it's like closer towards like Louisville, so
In
maybe
Reagan.
not. But
Yeah.
I know that like every time I've been there, there's like never anybody underneath the awning, so I wouldn't like think we would have to reserve anything.
I know at Miller Park, you're like supposed to reserve those. They have like covered picnic tables. We could reserve one of those, or we could go out in the baseball field and like set up a bunch of blankets and like sit down in the grass and like put them together. I feel like picnic tables is probably a better idea.
I vote picnic tables. I would like to.
Yeah, let's do that.
For you all, that picnic tables make the most sense.
I think they do too. Okay, and it would be good to get a decently sized one, because we will have a lot of stuff to put together. And we should also bring some boxes to put the finished like bags in, just so that we can like take them and go. So why don't we set a date for that? Is that realistic for you guys to set a date now? And then a rain date too? Oh, also Addison said that the Zoom kicked her out.
I think that if we set a date now, that it'll be a good idea, but as long as it's like able to be changed in case something comes up where like a lot of us can't attend it for some reason, or like maybe we'll have testing, I don't know. So
Would you all want to consider your meeting date for April?
Is that the 26th?
Yes, it is.
I think that's fine. I think as long as we're okay, we talked about this previously, like if we're okay with an extra long meeting, I'm fine with it being the 26th. Although that would be over Zoom. Usually our meeting would be over Zoom. So would we still do it over Zoom and then part of it outside at a park? How would that look?
Again, I could be wrong, and I'm going to defer to Wanda, but if it's something we have scheduled, then we would advertise that the public meeting is scheduled for that day, that time, and that location. Therefore, you would not meet via Zoom. You would meet at that day, that time, that location. As long as we have it, like we put that out there publicly, then you're covered.
Okay, gotcha.
Because we put this on the website. And it's sent out to media. So this is a public meeting, so it's sent out to media. Anyone could join this meeting at any time. Again, they could, when you were meeting in City Hall, they could come to that meeting as well. So as long as you're in a public place and we post it that that's where you're going to be, then that would be your meeting.
Update, guys, we're meeting at a park. That's funny. I think that's fine. I think it's kind of a nice change too, because like the Zoom format works, but the in-person meetings are always they're always more interactive and there's more people that show up and stuff like that. So I think having an in-person meeting, having like an extended YAC meeting, does that work for you guys? And also that means we wouldn't have to set aside like multiple dates to do kind of a similar thing. Like if we set a date to do the like putting together the packages and then also had our separate YAC meeting, I feel like that could be, especially with it like being near testing and everything, I think maybe it's more realistic to just put it all into one day.
yeah, I really like the idea of making it in a park, making it public, and I also really like the idea of putting it all into one day.
Cool, thank you. Should we set a rain? I think we should still set a rain date. And if it does rain, maybe we should still have our meeting on Zoom and then have like a separate day. So should it be like that Thursday, which is the 28th of April?
I think that sounds great.
So the 28th would most likely be our Human Relations Commission meeting. So we would all be not able to attend that in person on that day.
I also think I have a track meet, so I don't know if I could do that.
We did like, what if we did it on a Friday, maybe the 29th?
I'm thinking maybe we do it on that Wednesday since that Friday is kind of cutting it close because that next week is the start of AP exams. And we might want that weekend to just like study. I don't know. Just throwing it out there.
Sure. I think that's fine. I was thinking maybe at first, like giving it just a day wouldn't be enough for rain declare, but I'm sure it'll be fine. So for right now, the plan to make the packages is at our YAC meeting, April 26th. If it doesn't work out, we meet May 27th. Sorry, not May. April 27th. And should this be at 4 o'clock? Should this be at 5:30, like a YAC meeting? What do you guys think?
I think that if we did it at the time of a YAC meeting, it'd be good because I know that school gets out at 3:40, so transportation's oftentimes like difficult. So
I think starting at 4 is a little unrealistic. So 5:30. Cool. Let's write that down. So
Maybe we should like set it as 5:15 because we usually do take some time to like get started with our meetings. So maybe if we set it at 5:15, we can get going by 5:30.
good idea. Get there between like 5:15 and 5:20.
Yeah, just
Okay.
because it's gonna take some time to like set up all the stuff and everything.
Yeah, sounds good. Okay, sweet. We've got a day to put together all our packages. That's cool.
So I would suggest that if you are able to store your donations until that day and bring them that day, that would be great. If you need to drop them off anytime because you don't have a place to store them, then just let us know and we can store them in City Hall and bring them over.
Great. I might have to do that. So sounds good. Okay, great. I think we're ready to move on to our next item in the agenda, which is, I see Miss McClinton is still on here. It's the state youth conference, which is on April 24th, I see. So Miss McClinton, you're free to take the reins, tell us your updates and everything.
Hi, everybody. So the conference, the spring convention is on April 23rd. I have sent out a registration form for you guys to register. It's $25 per student, so pretty cheap. It's better than past years that I've heard of, just like because it's overnight. But it's only one day. We'll be at Pullen Park. We'll have a day full of fun and activities and award giving. That's pretty much it for the spring convention. I'm here to answer any questions anybody may have.
So I just want to add, I sent out the information about that on Friday. If we do not hear from people by this Friday, we will not be attending. Also, we will need more than one person to attend. So if we're going to attend, because I will be your chaperone, and we will be leaving here at 6:30 a.m. on that day, and we'll return, I guess, probably around 5. So, again, I just want to confirm that we will need more than one person to attend to be able to attend.
Cool. Question. I was planning on attending for sure. I was just about to ask about like the transportation. I had the impression that like we would each be driving ourselves over, but you're chaperoning.
So I was thinking that's how we've done it before. Wanda, I know she's having some, I think she's having some.
I'm here.
Okay. Brooke was under the assumption that she could drive herself to the spring conference. Are we allowing that, or would we still need them to all go together?
Brooke, are you 18?
Yes, as of last week.
Oh, all right. Happy belated birthday.
Thank you.
Yeah, so that is something that I'm thinking should be okay because she's 18. But Jamie, we need to circle back around with our city attorney's office just to double check what the procedures and protocols are, since this is a group type of thing. But it could be that she'll be fine. We just need to double check.
Okay. And are there any other students that are interested and think they're able to go?
So I know that I'm definitely going to go, and I'm definitely going to be attending. I did have a question about transportation. How would that work for me since I'm not able to drive myself?
Okay. So in that case, that would come from the city, like I would drive you, which Miss McClinton, I am assuming in the past, we didn't have, you had to have a chaperone if you were students going anyway. So is that the way it still is, or are people able to go on their own?
I believe there should always be a chaperone, but me and Candace will also be there. So we'll also be kind of like chaperones as well, but we would like to have a chaperone from each council just so because there's going to be so many people out there.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. So Ava, you're interested, you're confirmed that you're able to go. Brooke is interested, she's confirmed that she's able to go. And if there's anybody else that lets us know, Brooke, I mean, please feel free to choose to ride with Ava and I. I feel like it makes more sense as a council to, if we're going to go ahead and drive, to go together. But if there, you know, if we find that it's okay and you're able to, then we'll work through that. But if there's anyone else interested, please, you have till Friday to let us know. And then we will send out the paperwork, because there will be a city permission slip to ride with me.
I was very interested in going, but I think that's the day my cousin is getting married. But I will confirm with my mom, and I will get back to you, Brooke, and you can just do it that.
And Brooke, is there a reason why? I mean, do you absolutely need to drive yourself?
No, I was under the impression that there wasn't transportation and that we would be transporting ourselves there. I would much rather ride with you guys because wow, gas prices are scary right now.
Exactly.
That works better for me. I was under the impression that like we would be expected to get ourselves there. But yeah, no, I'd rather ride with you.
Not at all.
I have one question. I'm very interested in going, but my question is exactly what occurs in the spring convention?
Miss McClinton, would you like to tell them the agenda?
Yeah, of course. So there's the theme this year is kind of like award show, like the Grammys. So you'll have time, like, you know, there'll be a red carpet. So you have time to take pictures in front of the red carpet and we'll do like a welcome. There's a welcome speech. And then we'll start the activities around like 9:30, and there's like 6 stations, and you'll be there for like 25 minutes, and the stations will vary from different activities. And then after the stations, we'll do lunch. And we'll do awards. So each council will get an award for most outstanding or any of the categories that we may have. And we also give out certificates to the seniors. And then we'll close out around like 3:00.
So,
sorry. Go ahead, Litzy.
So, the dressing is like casual or like?
I would say dress casual because you will be doing a lot of movement. You don't want to be uncomfortable. And you'll be outside all day.
Okay. Well, I'll talk to my parents and see if they'll let me. I'm not so sure, but I'll give it a try.
Okay.
Then again.
We'll definitely send another follow-up email being like, please come to the convention because it'll be the best time of your life. And if you don't come, you're just going to be missing out. So we'll see. It would be definitely awesome if we could get a lot of people to go because those are always fun. The one that we had a while ago was so fun.
I also have a question about the convention. I hope you don't mind me asking this, but like, what activities are we doing there? Because I've been thinking about going and I want to give it a try, but I'm not exactly sure like what it's about. If I'm going to be completely honest.
So I'm going to be honest. It's all in Raleigh Youth Council's hands. So we will figure out exactly what they will be having. But I know they have mentioned riding the carousel at Fulham Park, doing like kind of like a Foursquare, like a Jaga pit type of thing, and some more things as well.
I will say that I think it was Raleigh that did the last away convention that I went to with the youth council, and they did a very good job.
Cool. Does anybody else have any more questions about the convention? What it might be like?
Do we have to fill a format in the money? It's $25, right? How do we like do this process if we decide to go?
You will give all your money to Jamie.
And once we see how many people are going, then Wanda and I will discuss the fee and stuff. Because in the past we have been able to cover the fee, so we just need to see what's going on and what's best.
Cool. If we don't have any other, does anybody else have any final questions or thoughts about the convention?
So I can't seem to find the sign-up sheet within my email. So is there any way that, Ms. Walduck, is there any way that you could resend that?
Yes. So for right now, just email me and let me know. That's
Okay.
where we're at right now. By Friday, I just need to know an email that says my parents approve that I go on this trip. And then we will go from there with permission slips and registering.
Cool. Ms. McClinton, thanks for your time. Thanks for always coming to our meetings and just hanging out. And thanks for telling us about the convention.
Always. Y'all have a great rest of your night.
Thank you. You too.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
Bye. All right, guys, let's continue with our agenda. We're almost at the end now. Staff reminders and information, the spring newsletter. We touched on that earlier. We just really need people to write articles and like what articles we're gonna write. Whoever like ends up coming to the spring convention, like Ava, you might want to write the article for the spring convention for the spring newsletter. That would be a pretty timely thing. Like you'd have to like, since the newsletter is due like the last day of April, there isn't too much time in between there. If that's realistic for you though to write, then feel free to write the article for that. We can I feel like it's more appropriate to brainstorm ideas of like articles when like Cameron's here, somebody's here from the public relations. Simran said she's leaving, but thanks for coming in, Simran. So yeah, we're not discussing much more on the spring newsletter. I think.
Have a great evening, everyone.
Thank you. Bye, Simran.
You too.
All right, let's see. So I think that's pretty much that for the spring newsletter. I think Cameron can send out some emails too saying like what articles need to get done and just assigning them what dates they need to be done by. Our April monthly meeting, as we just discussed, is April 26th, and that's now the day that we are scheduled to put together those packets. That's after, it's not packets, sorry, the bags. That's after spring break. If anybody needs transportation to that too, just send an email. We can sort something out for sure, because we want you guys to all be there and YAC to be all together so we can assemble these bags together. Miss Jamie and Miss Wanda, is there anything you guys wanted to add to that?
We just want to make you aware that May 10th is the date that we will most likely that Youth Council will be doing their annual report to council, the Community Development Committee. So that is a Tuesday, May 10th at 4:30 p.m. And as we get closer, we'll know if that's in person or if it's virtual, but we'll just need to know that there are at least 2 members that are able to give that report.
All right, sounds good.
And I think that's all.
Cool. All right, along with upcoming events, donation drive ending April 8th. We just talked about the packages being assembled and also the rain date, which is the next day, and also our city council meeting that we are attending, which is March 28th. That's next Monday at 7 p.m. So please attend if you can make it. That's definitely that's a YAC required thing to do. So please make that a priority to attend. Like Miss Jamie said, you would just be hopping on to and just viewing the YouTube video. It would be live streamed. So, all right. I think that's everything. I was just about to say, do we have a motion to adjourn the meeting? But we haven't been making motions all this meeting. So Miss Wanda, do you want to add something?
I'm just proud of you for remembering the motions. You're remembering Robert's Rules of Order very well, Brooke.
Oh, thank you. Because usually I forget them. So
no, you're doing an amazing job. Good job.
All right. Cool, guys. Well,
I have one quick question.
Yeah.
So if we decide to go to the spring convention, can we clarify the transportation thing again?
I will drive the group we will leave at 6:30 a.m. on that morning, and then we'll return. It's over at 3, so we'll be back by 4:30 or 5.
Okay, will we meet somewhere and then head off to Raleigh?
Yeah, we will meet at City Hall.
Okay. And will you need like a permission from my mom saying like yes, he can drive me, like handwritten or typed, or how would you like
So
that?
I'll have an actual permission slip from the city that we'll need you all to have somebody sign.
Okay.
Yeah. So again, we just need to know how many people I need to send that to. So I'm only sending all those permission slips to the people who send me confirmation by this Friday. So, and if Brooke, if you want to follow up from my email and encourage people, that would be great. Or if you want to send a reminder, however else you all communicate in case somebody doesn't get my emails. So.
Cool. All right, guys. Unless you guys have any other questions, I think we can consider this meeting adjourned. Over, I guess, because it's not really adjourned, but cool. All right, guys. Thanks for coming today.
Thanks,
And
Brooke. Thanks, everybody.
Thank
thanks,
you.
guys. All
Thank
right.
you.
Have a good evening. We'll be in touch.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye, Jamie. Good job.
Thanks.